Hello, welcome to my show. Yesterday, I did a video about rescuing a cat and how that kind of interrupted the flow of my week a little bit. Here's the cat, Russell. He's doing very well. Um, he's very sleepy though. I think being abandoned and living outside, I don't know how long for, has probably made him exhausted. And now he's got somewhere safe to be. And I've never seen a cat quite get used to being on someone's sofa quite so quickly. He's very soppy, very nice. Anyway, here he is, and he's good. Um, I've been thinking about how to make sense of the second Donald Trump presidency. I've had a few students ask me what on earth is going on. How is he able to do the things he's doing, considering checks and balances? And I think the best way of looking at it is to point out that he doesn't care about checks and balances. He said before the presidential election that he would be a dictator. That's what he wanted. Well, that's what he said he would do. When a politician says openly that they plan to do something bad, if you assume it's bad, being a dictator, I tend to believe them. If they say we're going to do this thing, often in British politics, you'll have that masked by a politician saying, "Well, we've got tough choices to make. We have to do this. We've got to take these measures because it's difficult at the moment." And there'll be some phrases around that. Trump doesn't do that. He just said, I'm gonna be a dictator. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. The latest thing, of course, is tariffs, which will be of interest to students who take the global part of the specification, as well as students who take the US part of the specification. And by the time this goes out, we will know the extent of the tariffs and what he is planning to do, and we will see the immediate effects of that. Everybody is predicting that the markets are going to be in turmoil. The fact that they're predicting that makes me think it might not be as bad as they're saying, but we will find out. He is a transactional politician who delights in getting his own way. So the tariffs are not the end game. The tariffs are his negotiation. It's the starting point. He will want other things out of it. I have to say that I found it an absolute cheek for him and other Americans to say that they have a bad deal. Literally, global superpower. Literally, we have all of their goods on our high street. Many companies are global companies. If you're studying globalization or you've studied globalization, you will know that America dominates through that kind of soft power. And to suddenly say, well, actually, we're not happy with this. We want more money, I think is an absolute scandal. And my own political opinion of it is let them go off on their own and do their own thing. And if people fall out with them, so be it. I don't particularly want my politicians, my representatives, to be doing deals with dictators anyway. All right, Russell. And another frustration I have over all of this is this came today. A brush. When he sees the brush, he already loves the brush. Also, what I don't like is the fact that our media and our politicians are kind of normalizing Trump's behavior. They're not pointing out rigidly and robustly enough that he wants to be a dictator. They are not treating him in that sort of way. This is a man who's ripping up the rule book. How is he getting his way? How is he doing things? He's ignoring the rules. And liberal democracy, which, if you've learned about liberal democracy in the early part of A-level government and politics, you will know it's based on rights, it's based on checks and balances, it's based on people not being all powerful. Dictators are all powerful and they will do whatever they want. Well, he's not looking at the brush in the same way that he was earlier. I think he's tired, which is fair enough. I'm not going to force a good grooming on him. It's not really fair, is it? And he's washing himself anyway, so that's cool. So, really we should have people robustly saying this guy is wrong. What he's doing is wrong. The harm he's doing to people, not just migrants, not just people from originally outside of the USA, but he's doing harm to people within the USA as well. The tariffs will undoubtedly push prices up. I can't see how they wouldn't. And his Gaza policy, his Ukraine policy, he's a menace, is what he is. And I don't think we should have to sugarcoat that. When it comes to someone being a dictator and we're teaching government and politics, I don't think we have to show him any sort of neutrality or balance. We should say it as it is. And that's what the media should be doing as well. Let me try to prove my point about his approach. So checks and balances are in place to stop anyone having too much power in the US system. Presidents have got around the check and balance of needing to go through Congress to change the law by using executive orders, which basically have the force of law until laws either replace them, confirm them, or the Supreme Court challenges them and throws them out. There have been court cases, not at the Supreme Court yet, but there have been court cases where Trump has lost cases on his executive orders and then just ignored the cases. So what do you do when someone is willing to lose cases and ignore them? What do you do when someone is willing to rule by decree through executive orders? The checks and balances don't help. Checks and balances only help when everybody in that liberal democratic system respects those rules. If he doesn't respect the rules, they're worthless. The Constitution of the USA is worthless. Now, he might occasionally use the Constitution to his advantage, but he's also willing to do what he wants to do and wait for people to challenge him and then ignore it if he loses a case. Whether that would happen if he lost a Supreme Court case remains to be seen. And what is also remaining to be seen is whether the Supreme Court would back him or not. The assumption is that the Supreme Court would back him. That might not be the case. It's difficult to tell. But that's what's going on. He is circumventing the Constitution by just doing what the hell he likes. And that is dictatorial. It remains to be seen exactly what the outcome of all of this is. But no one should be trying to paint it in any other way. It seems bizarre that there are people out there who are kind of debating whether he's got some good points or whether some of his policies will lead to a better time and all the rest of it. So what? He's a dictator. Call him out. He might well end up doing the occasional thing that's good, but that doesn't alter the fact that the way he goes about his business is wrong. And I'm going to carry on saying that. Hopefully that helps students understand exactly what's going on in the USA at the moment. He remains a great example for exams. because he is doing things in a very different way. And so if you look at what he's doing and you get some examples of what he's doing, there are great examples about the usage of executive orders, for example. And there are, great examples on foreign policy as well. So he is useful for us in terms of understanding how the American system works, or in this case, we could say it's not actually working very well. It's supposed to stop dictators from developing, and it isn't. So, there's links there to the constitution aspect of the specification as well. These are not normal times. You might have grown up, with President Trump being president before, and the world being slightly crazy as it's been for the last umpteen years, but it isn't normal. Things are changing, and things are not necessarily changing for the better. But exams are looming, and get the examples you need to be able to make some good points. And now I'm going to spend some time with this pussycat, nursing him back to health before he goes back to the vets in a few days. And I'm hoping that what I've done so far is going to be enough to be able to get him back on the road to recovery, because he's been really ill. And yeah, so that's one of my main concerns in life right now, is this little fella. All right, okay, well, happy studying, and whatever has gone on with the tariffs, you'll know already. Maybe it has collapsed the world economy, and I've been suggesting it's going to be better than it actually is, or maybe it's going to be something that's much more long term, and there'll be fluctuations, I'm sure. We will find out. Well, I will find out. You might already know. Okay, thank you. Happy studying. Bye-bye.